Hi friends, Naturalist Cat here. So today's adventure is that we're going to start a nature collection. And a nature collection is where we go out and we collect things and bring them inside so we can look at them really close and study them and keep them close to us so we feel connected to nature. So let's get started. So friends, first let's talk about what to look for a nature collection. So we want to pick things that are not alive. So we don't want fresh plants or flowers or any of that because they wouldn't survive in our collection device like a box or a bottle. And we also just don't want to pick something that's alive. We want to make sure that we're being kind and nice to nature while starting our collection. So we're going to look for things that aren't alive, and we're also going to look for things that won't get moldy, so they don't have a lot of moisture, a lot of wetness to them. So things that are dry, or things that we can dry. And while we do this, we want to make sure that we never pick the first or the last, so that things can be left in nature to keep growing or to keep living. So let's go see what we can find. So friends, my first find came right here in this garden bed. I was planting these brand new plants. I have cauliflower and broccoli and cabbage. And while I was planting, I found this really neat husk from a tomatillo. Let's see if the camera, there you go. And I just thought that was the coolest find. And it's not alive. It's left over from last summer's garden. So I am going to add it to my treasure bag that I brought with me. All right, let's see what else we can find. I just found this really cool pine cone. Look at it, it's so neat. It's all twisted. Oops, sorry camera. It's all twisted up. I wonder what caused it to do that. And I can see inside of it, so that's a neat way to study it. I also noticed, if I look over here, that there are more pine cones, so that I am not taking the first or the last. And I'm just gonna check it over, make sure it doesn't look like anybody's living in there. Doesn't look like it, doesn't look like I'm taking anyone's home. So I am going to put it in my brand new treasure bag. Okay, let's see what else we can find. So I just found this really cool piece of bark that just looked like, I just thought it was a really neat piece of bark, the way it has one color, well, a bunch of colors on this side, and then another color on this side, and it's kind of smoother on this side. So I think I'm going to take this bark with me, and I'm going to put it inside of my treasure bag. If I can get it open. Whoop, there's inside my treasure bag. In you go, bark. So friends, here is a grass seed, and I just love the way it's so fuzzy, and I just think it would be really neat in my collection. So I'm going to break it off because it's not the first and it's not the last. I have plenty of them, and I'm going to put it in my treasure bag. So friends, one of the great things about making a nature collection is that you never know what you're going to spot. So I came out here to get one of these. This is a milkweed pod because I'm out in my milkweed, and look what I spotted. Can you see it right here? What a neat find. So that, my guess, is a spider egg sac that was laid in the fall. Oh, try to get it in focus, and it looks like it's surrounded by leaves for protection. And then the baby spiders come out of it. Maybe we'll have to keep an eye on that. What a great find. And I'll pick up a milkweed pod. All right, so they're just neat. They're kind of crispy. Well, they're really crispy, and they have kind of a soft, smooth kind of inside and a prickly outside. And if you look over here, this one right here, you can see that the seeds are inside of it. So that will, there goes the neighbor. So that will make a really great addition to our nature collection. In the bag it goes. So friends, I came out to some really cool rock outcroppings, so places in my yard where there's rocks, and I decided to see if there was any rocks that I like hanging out, because there's little bits of rock here. So we've got this big one. Oh, but look, there's some moss there, so I don't want to take the moss inside since it's a plant. So I'll just leave that little moss right there. But let's see, this rock really appeals to me. It's got different colors and stripes, and it's little, so I don't need a big compartment for it. So I really like this rock. I think I'll add it to my bag. In you go. So friends, I just remembered that we had that nature mystery yesterday, and I would be able to find some feathers. So I found this feather over where I saw all of those feathers yesterday, and I love how pretty and beautiful it is. So I'm going to pick that one up and add it to my collection. Now, not all feathers make for a good collection, because sometimes it's, oh, look, there's some other feathers. Sometimes you can't have a feather. If it's an endangered species or a protected bird, then it's not okay to have the feathers. So be sure to check and look into whether it's okay to have the feathers before you add them to your collection. Well, friends, while I was out looking for a leaf, I spotted this hole in the ground. I wonder who lives there. We found two things. I found a really great leaf, and I found somebody's home. So, these caught my eye. Do you see all these circles right here everywhere? These are black walnuts, and they came from this great big tree in my neighbor's yard, and they fall in my yard. And the squirrels like them. They like to move them around. And I thought I would like something to put in my collection, so I'm standing in my yard seeing if I can find something that I could use. Let's see, any dry parts? Oh, look at this. Let's see. So here is part of the nut. Or actually, I think it's part of the husk, the outside, but it has the impression of the nut inside. That's really neat. Feels like it'll hold up okay. So I think I'll add it to my collection. So I found a really neat stick that I really like. This is from a branch that was on my tree. Oh, wait a minute, while I'm looking in the camera. Oh, I can't use this branch. Do you see the spider webs? Using the camera, I see some shiny things, so I don't want to put that. This is somebody's home, so I'm going to have to look for a different stick. So friends, I found the perfect stick. No spider webs, and I thought it kind of reminds me of a tiny tree monster. The arms and the head, maybe even some snail eyeballs up there. So it's a tiny tree monster, and I'm going to add it to my collection. Hi friends, we are back inside in my nature craft room, and we are going to now make the container to put our collection in so that we have a beautiful place to display it, and we know where all those pieces are so we can go back and study them. So I've gathered some cardboard boxes, I've gathered some bubble wrap, scissors, markers, and you should probably also gather an adult to help you so that you can cut the big pieces into littler pieces safely. So let's get started. Okay friends, here we are. So I have a couple different things. I was trying to choose between this big box right here. It's really a great box because it's already white, so I don't have to like do any special decorating except maybe coloring. And it's nice and big, a good size, easy to store, has a lid. Or over here, I have this box, which I thought would be a great mini one because it also has a lid and opens up and keeps really safe. So I think that I'm gonna start with the big box and pull out my treasures. So here's the bark, And then we have the seed pod that we collected. And the leaf. Oh, I love the little curl in that leaf. And here's a milkweed pod. I like that I'm starting to notice that a lot of things are the same colors that I chose. Oh, and there's a really cool twisted pine cone. And our rock with all the different colors. And our tiny tree monster stick. And somewhere in my treasure bag, somewhere in there is, oh, there's our feather. So there is our feather from yesterday. And, oh, don't want to squish it. Here is our husk. And here is the other husk. Oops. There's our husk with the impression of the walnut inside. So if I put it in this box, I can see, let's see. Yep, it looks like I would have plenty of room, and I want to make it so that they're protected and they are separated. So let me take them back out. And we will take them carefully out, set them aside. I found that I had some bubble wrap around, and I thought that might do a really good job of protecting my finds. So I have some bubble wrap here, and I am going to straighten it out and see if I can't make a really nice layer inside the box. That way, and bubble wrap, I mean, I think if we're gonna have bubble wrap out, that we should definitely pop one, right? Here we go. Oh, so satisfying. All right, so I'm going to put in my bubble wrap. And I'm just gonna lay it in there and see if I can't get it to get flat, because it's a really nice piece. But if you wanted to, you could cut it to size. And then I thought I'd start with my biggest item. So my biggest item is my really cool piece of bark. So let me make sure we're in the camera, and I will put my piece of bark there, and then I have a piece of cardboard, but it's too big. So I'm gonna cut it down. I'm gonna mark it here. And if you hear something, my cat has decided he's a little lonely today. So I'm just gonna kind of mark, so he's trying to get in here, but since I have a lot of yarn in my craft room, he doesn't get to come in here very much. But he has a lot to say today. All right, so I did that, and then all I have to do is slide my cardboard down, and ta-da! I have a safe compartment for my bark. What? Let's see. What about if we put the leaf here, maybe? And then I can cut this piece of cardboard right there, make my mark. And this is really easy to do. Let's see. Make my mark there. Yes, Charlie, you want to be a part? You want to be a part of the nature collection? Yeah? So there we go. And then I thought, oh, right, I have this pine cone here. And maybe I could make a little container right here. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to make spaces for our display to safely go. So I'll cut that down. Just kind of shimmy it in. Help it stay up. If it's having trouble staying up, you could do something like some push pins. Help, oops, get an adult to help you. And you could just push pin from one side of the cardboard to the other. Just got to be really careful, so those are very pokey. But we could push pin those together. There we go. And now, let's see, how's it looking? Look at that. Look at our display coming together. But I have lots of extra space, so now I'm going to try and fit some of my little cardboard pieces in here. Again, just going to cut a little bit off and slide that in there. There we go. And now I've created a place for my milkweed seed pod. Oh, that one doesn't want to stay up. Time for a push pin. You could use tape to keep it up. I just happen to have some push pins. See, you have to be careful, that are handy. So friends, I'm all finished. I have finished my cardboard dividers, and I have decorated the top of my box. And so let's take a look. So I made sure to say it's mine, and that way if people want to look at it, they know who to ask to look at it. So if we open it up, open up my box lid and set it over here, and I've made all my dividers, and I've put everything in here. Oops, one fell over. Looks like I should maybe put a pin in that one. And I've given it protection and dividers. I've also, for the one item, I put in a label so you can see when and where I collected it, and I will go back and put that for each thing. I might even want to make notes if I figure out an ID on something, figure out what kind of leaf or what kind of seed pod it is. I might want to put that in there too. And friends, your collection can be big or small. It might take you a while, which is a good idea, to find things as you take different hikes. And then you can make your very own nature collection. So I hope you've enjoyed making this with me, friends. I've had a lot of fun. I want to thank you all for watching and subscribing to my channel. It makes my heart happy, and I look forward to going out in nature with you again soon. See you later. Bye.